Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves on the storied shores of Virginia, in the midst of a pivotal moment in American and world history, the Battle of Yorktown. This seminal event, which took place from September 28 to October 19, 1781, marked a decisive turning point in the American Revolutionary War, as the combined forces of American and French troops converged upon the British Army, led by General Charles Cornwallis. As we delve into the earliest history of this battle, let us transport ourselves to the autumn of 1781, when the leaves were ablaze with color and the air was crisp with anticipation. The stage had been set for this confrontation months prior, as American and French strategists, including George Washington and the Comte de Rochambeau, carefully coordinated their efforts to ensnare the British Army. The location of Yorktown, situated on a peninsula between the York River and the Chesapeake Bay, proved to be a critical factor in the impending battle. This strategic position allowed the French fleet, under the command of Admiral François-Joseph Paul de Grasse, to block any potential British escape by sea. To fully understand the events leading up to the Battle of Yorktown, we must examine the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined this period. The American Revolution, sparked by the desire for independence from British rule, had been ongoing since 1775. The French, seeking to weaken their longtime enemy, Britain, had allied themselves with the Americans in 1778, providing significant financial and military support. This alliance proved pivotal in the lead-up to the Battle of Yorktown, as French troops and supplies played a crucial role in the eventual defeat of the British. The town of Yorktown itself, founded in 1691 by the Virginia General Assembly, was a small but strategic port city, situated on the south bank of the York River. Its proximity to the Chesapeake Bay made it an ideal location for naval operations, and its defensive position, surrounded by marshes and rivers, made it a formidable stronghold. As the British Army, numbering around 9,000 troops, occupied the town in August 1781, they were unaware of the impending doom that awaited them. The British forces, led by General Cornwallis, had been engaged in a series of battles and skirmishes throughout the summer of 1781, as they attempted to gain control of the southern colonies. However, their efforts were ultimately thwarted by the combined might of the American and French armies. The French army, led by the Comte de Rochambeau, had arrived in America in July 1780, bringing with them significant military experience and expertise. Together, the American and French forces formed a formidable alliance, determined to defeat the British and secure American independence. As we explore the historical context of this battle, it becomes clear that the events leading up to the Battle of Yorktown were shaped by a complex array of factors, including diplomacy, strategy, and luck. The arrival of the French fleet in the Chesapeake Bay, for example, was a crucial turning point in the battle, as it prevented the British from escaping by sea. Similarly, the bravery and determination of the American and French troops played a significant role in the ultimate defeat of the British. Join me, dear listeners, as we step into the heart of the Battle of Yorktown and witness the unfolding drama of this pivotal moment in American and world history. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our collective past. As the combined forces of American and French troops converged upon the British Army, led by General Charles Cornwallis, the stage was set for a dramatic and decisive confrontation. The French fleet, under the command of Admiral François-Joseph Paul de Grasse, had successfully blockaded the British escape route by sea, trapping them on the Yorktown Peninsula. This strategic maneuver proved to be a masterstroke, as it prevented the British from receiving reinforcements or escaping by sea. The battle began on September 28, 1781, as American and French troops, led by George Washington and the Comte de Rochambeau, launched a series of attacks on the British defenses. The British lines, stretching across the peninsula, were formidable, but the Allied forces were determined to break through. The fighting was intense, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, but the Allies slowly began to gain ground. One of the key battles during this period was the capture of Redoubt 10, a strategic British stronghold that controlled access to the Yorktown Peninsula. On October 14, 1781, a French regiment, led by the Comte de Daupens, launched a daring assault on the redoubt, using bayonets and muskets to overwhelm the British defenders. This victory marked a significant turning point in the battle, as it allowed the Allies to gain control of the high ground and begin to encircle the British army. As the days passed, the British situation grew increasingly desperate. Cut off from reinforcements and supplies, they were unable to withstand the relentless pressure from the Allied forces. On October 19, 1781, General Cornwallis attempted to escape across the York River, but a sudden storm ruined his plans, and he was forced to surrender. The surrender of the British Army at Yorktown marked a decisive moment in American and world history. The victory of the Allied forces, led by Washington and Rochambeau, had secured American independence from Britain, paving the way for the creation of a new nation. The battle also marked the beginning of the end of the British Empire, as the loss at Yorktown signaled the start of a long decline that would eventually see the empire's collapse. As we reflect on this pivotal moment in history, we are filled with wonder and appreciation for the bravery, determination, and strategic brilliance of the men who fought at Yorktown. Their actions shaped the course of world events, creating a new nation and forever changing the balance of power in the world. Join me, dear listeners, as we conclude our journey through the annals of time, reflecting on the enduring impact of this pivotal moment in human history. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our collective past. The surrender of the British Army at Yorktown marked a significant turning point in the American Revolutionary War. The victory of the Allied forces, led by Washington and Rochambeau, had secured American independence from Britain, paving the way for the creation of a new nation. The Treaty of Paris, signed on September 3, 1783, formally ended the war and recognized American independence. The aftermath of the Battle of Yorktown also saw significant changes in the British Empire. The loss at Yorktown marked the beginning of a long decline that would eventually see the empire's collapse. The British government, led by Prime Minister Lord North, faced intense criticism for their handling of the war, and the country was forced to confront the reality of its diminished power. In the years following the Battle of Yorktown, the United States began to take shape as a new nation. The Articles of Confederation, adopted in 1781, provided a framework for the government, but it was not until the Constitution was ratified in 1788 that the country had a stable and effective system of government. George Washington, the hero of Yorktown, would go on to become the first president of the United States, serving 2 terms from 1789 to 1797. The legacy of the Battle of Yorktown can also be seen in the impact it had on the development of democracy around the world. The American Revolution, and the Battle of Yorktown in particular, inspired similar movements for independence and self-governance in Europe and beyond. The French Revolution, which began in 1789, was heavily influenced by the ideas of liberty and democracy that emerged from the American Revolution. As we reflect on the enduring impact of the Battle of Yorktown, we are reminded of the power of human ingenuity, bravery, and determination. The men who fought at Yorktown, including Washington, Rochambeau, and Lafayette, were not just soldiers, but visionaries who helped shape the course of world history. Their actions created a new nation, inspired democratic movements around the world, and left a lasting legacy that continues to inspire us today. In the words of George Washington, "The fate of the war is now in our hands, and we have every reason to expect a happy issue." The Battle of Yorktown was indeed a happy issue, one that marked the beginning of a new era of freedom, democracy, and self-governance. As we conclude our journey through the annals of time, we are filled with a sense of wonder and appreciation for the bravery, determination, and strategic brilliance of the men who fought at Yorktown, and for the enduring legacy they left behind. And so, dear listeners, we come to the end of our podcast series on the Battle of Yorktown. We hope that you have enjoyed this journey through history with us, and that you have gained a deeper understanding of the significance of this pivotal moment in American and world history. Join us next time as we explore more fascinating stories from the annals of time. Thank you for listening to History with Herodotus. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.